we'll get right into it, Coach. We'll start with questions for Coach. Seth, why don't you lead us off again?
All right. Hi, Coach. Thanks for joining us. So it seems like the team's starting to peak at the right time, kind of at the perfect time. So kind of talk about that a little bit, coming from regionals heading into, championships.
Yeah, the ladies, they've really been playing well, working hard, and it was really great to see their hard efforts come under pressure, and they performed well that final round at regionals. Even Yu Sung Ho came up huge for us that last round, shooting her 4 under, and Vivian and Therese Warner with their under par rounds really saved us. So just qualifying for nationals is a big accomplishment, and the fact that they're hosting in Scottsdale. It's a desert type golf course. We will be very familiar with that type of setting. So we are really excited to be qualified.
Yeah, I asked Gilly, Vivian, you saying about, getting to stay in Arizona and staying in the time zone. How big of an advantage is, being on a course or a style of course that you guys are comfortable with, compared to some other teams that are coming from, different parts of the country?
Well, we are used to this type of grass. We are used to this type of temperatures. We are used to seeing a golf course visually have desert left, desert right off the tee, which is very much Greyhawk. So we do have an advantage because I think our players are not going to be as intimidated by the setting, where a lot of people can't take the heat. A lot of people visually don't like desert golf, and our ladies play it every day. So it's a huge advantage.
That's great. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
I'll chime in, and Coach, thanks for being with us. You guys, that first 2 days of regionals, you guys were like 6th and then 7th, kind of out of the placement for qualifying. And then that last day, everything kind of clicked together. What did you notice between the change between those first 2 days and that third day when everybody was performing well?
The first 2 days, we were not executing shots. We were not playing. We've played Stanford so much at conference championship and now regional. So we know how to play that golf course, and we were not executing the places that we needed to air our shots. Like, we were not executing in course strategy at all those first 2 days. So I was very annoyed a little bit as a coach, because I was like, ladies, we've played here. We can do better than this. So it was the final round. It was like, you could see that everything just clicked. Their intensity was there. And, I think it was just a perfect storm where everything came together, putts started falling, and we shot 5 under and we made it.
And then is there anybody, was you saying on the team that won the national championship a couple years ago?
She was.
And then I don't think was there anybody else on the roster that was? So she's the only one. So now does she kind of play, is her role a little different this week because she's got that experience? Is she saying anything different to the team?
No, Yachun Money on our team was on the championship team where we finished in the Final Four in 2019. So both Yusong and Money, they're definitely going to be our leaders this week, having been there, made it to match play. Yusong especially having won a national championship, knowing what to expect. And the other 3 ladies, Vivian, Gillet, and Therese, they're really freshmen because last year was a complete washout with COVID. So we're going to be going to Yusung a lot for leadership, especially if we make it into those match play rounds. And I feel good. I feel good for the ladies. They're in a good spot, and it's going to be a good week.
Hi, Coach. What do you think are the keys for you, such a talented team, making that big run this week?
It's going to come down to who has the best short game and who makes putts. Greyhawk, they're not playing that golf course overly long. So in my opinion, it's going to bring the field back together. It's the teams that have the longest hitters are not going to have an advantage this week. So I feel like as from tee to green, it is going to be very even playing field. And what's going to make and break is the teams that have the sharpest short game, who make the birdie putts when needed, don't err and miss greens on certain sides or hazards, because Greyhawk has a couple hazards. So that is going to be the key element this week, is to making sure we're fine tuned with those wedges and putter.
And is that what you've been working on all week at the various courses? I've seen that you've gone out to different places again to sort of simulate what you'll see on this course.
Yeah, 100%. That was our strategy this week. We were at Tucson Country Club on Sunday, firm, fast greens. You know, we've been out at the gallery. We've been out at the golf club at Dove Mountain, just to have elevated greens, desert landscaping. We're going to Scottsdale National tomorrow to practice before the practice round on Thursday. So yeah, just trying to remember from what we learned at Greyhawk in that practice round. So that way we can, sorry, did I lose everybody? Sorry, lost you. But just so we can simulate practice into performance this week. But also I want to make sure I don't exhaust these ladies. We just had a very long week at regionals, emotionally, physically. And I'm just trying to make sure, like today we had like a 2.5 hour practice, just got a club in their hand. And I'm just trying to make sure that we are ready to go and refreshed for this week because it's a long week.
Is there anything, I know that you've said all along that, you know, you didn't have a different message for them during this time, but is there anything that you do like that you did in the national championship year and then 2 years ago when you went to the semis, a little different? Or I know you like to keep everything the same, but is there something that some way that you talk to them or anything that you do during this time that would be different? Even like the night before, are there certain routines that you go through that you would only go through during the championship run?
We do our due diligence with the team the night before with course management and yardage book prep, but this is a week where you're just so happy to be qualified to play in the national championship because it's getting harder and harder every year. So my message to them this week is going to be like, let's seize this opportunity. This is an opportunity that we didn't know if we were going to have at the beginning of this year because we didn't even know if we're going to have a team with ladies not coming back because of COVID and these circumstances. So like, let's rise to the occasion, and just come together, belief as a group. You know, I think a lot of people have, really have seen our roster and how we have played this spring, that they don't really have a lot of belief in us. And so it's more so like, who cares what other people say about us? Let's believe in ourselves and we can win this week. Like we have a roster that can win the championship this week if we do what we need to and do it right. So that's my message.
Great, thanks.
And then Coach, I have a question sort of similar to what PJ was just asking, which is that when you're out on the court, on the course, how much are you telling the players what your score is versus opponents, or are you trying to keep that in mind, or do you let them play without really asking them about or telling them about the scores of other opponents?
No, we don't talk about score. We don't talk about other opponents. There's leaderboards out there. Like there was leaderboards at regional. And so they saw we were in like 7th place. They saw when they made the turn, like they saw we had moved up to 5th place, so I don't say anything and they don't really ask. I might have some player ask me where they're at individually, if they're in the hunt to win, but very few want to know or care, and they look at the leaderboard. So I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, and a few years ago when Bianca hit that amazing, I think it was an eagle to advance you guys to the match play or the playoff, was she aware that you were in need of an eagle at that point to advance, or was that no?
She was not.
Yeah.
But the team was.
Okay. Wow, that must have been pretty incredible when she found out, though, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
I knew she needed to make it for eagle, but she did not. And I told Bianca, just play the best golf that you can, and we'll be fine.
Amazing. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Any other questions for Coach Einell before we let her go here?
Before I pick up my kids at daycare or kindergarten in 1st grade, because I'm like in the line. I'm like,
Awesome. Well, thanks, Laura. We appreciate it.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll bring home a trophy for you guys.
Obviously, we're here for our NCAA pre-championships Zoom with our student athletes, joined by Yusang and Vivian and Delay. We'll start with questions for those three. If you want, just direct the question to the appropriate room or car, and we'll get this thing started. So. All right, I'm gonna start calling on people.
I'll kick it off. I can kick it off. Yeah, it's for anybody, whoever wants to answer. What's the benefits of not having to, travel very far, get on an airplane, and just having to drive up to Scottsdale for the NCAA championships?
I feel like it's a huge advantage of the weather because like I feel like not many schools are used to this desert weather and like the desert golf course. So I think it's really good and it's helps a lot when you don't have to travel to like East Coast.
The time difference.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. When you have only 2 hours to drive, you can practice until the last minute here, like we did today, and then all you have to do is just like drive a couple of hours and you're ready to play.
And then how comfortable, I know you guys had the practice round in Greyhawk a couple weeks ago, but how comfortable are y'all on it?
It's a typical desert course, so we know that pretty well. And the course conditions gonna be tough. So
Really looking forward, and like our whole team loved the golf course, so really looking forward to play. Yeah, we definitely had fun there. We were playing this just a small game between each other, and I think it made us explore the course quite well. So I think we're ready to play it.
That's great. Thank you.
I've got one for you, saying you had one of your best rounds ever, that last round of the regionals. Just what was working for you, and why do you think you were able to be so successful in the last round?
Oh, the last round is definitely stressful, but I feel like I've been waiting for my putts to drop, and that definitely was, my putt was definitely dropping like the last round, and everything goes really well. The hole looks really big, so I'm glad that worked out the last round because we kind of needed to. Yeah.
And just what does it do for the overall confidence of the team, because you guys are now peaking, it seems, at the right time, and you save your best round there for last, and just being able to get over that hump and make the NCAA championships?
Yeah, it's definitely like once you get to regionals, everything can happen in nationals. Like you just have to enjoy the moment, and I think that especially with our team, we kind of get to know each other more and more, and then it works out pretty good. And I'm glad that we all picked up in the right timing. So it's definitely gonna be fun in nationals.
And Gile, you were here earlier in the season, waiting for some of the other international players to come. So now that everybody's here, just what's that been like for you over the last couple months to have the whole team back?
I just think we're getting happier and happier. I mean, the beginning of the season was definitely a little rough, not gonna lie, but then we kept growing, we kept practicing, everyone started to come back, and I mean now we're just as tight as we can be, and I'm just really happy that we have the ability to play in the national championship. It's amazing. I mean, I think we're all really, really excited as a team.
And just how do you think you've improved since the start of the season?
I mean, through ups and downs as always, but I definitely feel more confident than I was feeling in the beginning. I think I'm starting to adjust to the heat a little bit better. And I mean, work is still in progress, but I'm as ready as I can be. I mean, we've been working hard the whole entire season. So this is just a way to see if it pays off.
And what's this like this week? Sorry, what's this week been like for everyone? I know that you're preparing now for this is it, right? This is what you've kind of trained for and your goal all season long. So what's it like now for you to be in this moment and to be starting on Friday?
Sorry, we were lost.
I can just go first until you guys reconnect. So I don't know, I think this week as the school is done, we're just trying to find a balance between getting the practicing, getting the work in, but at the same time resting enough to have the energy to play for as many days as we're going to be playing. So I think me personally, I'm a little nervous. This is my first national championship, of course. So I just want to do as best as I can. But this week has been exciting because, as you said, we're growing so much closer together with the team, some team bonding activities that, I mean, this week was good. This week was really good, actually.
And how does it help someone like you to have, and you and also Vivian, this is your first time. in this, in playing in this postseason right now in the championships? And, how does it help you to have you saying, to sort of, does she give you some advice about what it's like to be in this moment?
I mean, everyone keeps saying that it's an experience. Everything is so different in the national championship, and I've already felt it in the regionals too. So I think coming up to the nationals, we're all nervous. I mean, I'm nervous, but at the same time, that feeling makes you feel proud that we're there and makes you work a little harder because you know what we're able of, like what we're capable of and what we can do there. And I mean, people keep saying that enjoy it because you can. So that's what I know, looking forward to.
And is there anything that Coach Laura has been telling you all week? I mean, is there sort of a message or anything that she is sharing with you all to really keep you steady and keep you, ready for all of this?
You guys want to go or?
Oh, okay. Yeah, coach, definitely. We since we already played the golf course, we were trying to find the similar conditions of the golf course that practice here. And we just try to see what kind of shots we will need to practice with. And I think most of it, Coach Laura just told us to actually just enjoy the moment. Since you just already got through it, you just have to enjoy it and see what we got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very true. And just stick into the routine. Nothing changes as you go further in the season. You still have to keep working. You have to still grind, and only then you become successful. Like nothing changes. You can't just relax before the national championship because you already made it. It's just another week in the season, just a little bit more exciting.
Also, I saw you guys, you've been practicing on different courses around Tucson this week. I know that you did that to prepare for the regionals. And obviously as you said, there are certain shots or certain types of shots that will probably be similar to Greyhawk. What has that been like, and what kind of shots are a little bit different on this course than maybe that you haven't seen all season, or maybe you've seen this all season? Maybe it's a similar type of course.
I mean, we've seen some of them, I would say, but what stood out for me at Greyhawk is the elevated greens. There were so many of them, and also the greens themselves, they were very big and very angulated. So just, I think short game is going to be the main focus of this championship. And I think you wanted to say something too.
Oh no, I actually just gonna say the same thing. Yeah. And the fairways are pretty tight. I feel like it's just pretty similar. It's a combine of some of the golf course that we play together.
Like long ball and talking stick.
Yeah.
And then those like fairway bunker that like we've been looking forward to, like practice the first shot of the tee, and then like the second shot, and then the sticky rough around the fairway, the green, all the shots. I think we're pretty much like prepare everything.
Oh yeah, all the sticky rough, the
nicest
part of it.
Hey, I have a question for Vivian. So Coach mentioned that you were playing through I think a torn hip labrum. Can you just describe like what that's been like for you this season, and what kind of or how that affects your swing?
To be honest, it's been really tough season for me because since last September, I've been the labrum tails bother me really like a lot. I have to take ibuprofen and then Tylenol for the at the same times, and then I mean I kind of have to deal with it. So I mean taking ibuprofen and Tylenol is the only thing I can do right now, and then I just try to do my best every time when I'm on the course. So yeah.
Yeah, is that like a new experience for you to have to play through an injury, or have you done that?
It's definitely that whole new experience for me to playing with the injury. It's actually my first time having such a big injury.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions for any of our Wildcats here? Okay. Thanks, everybody. Thanks you, Sang. Thanks, Vivian.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.